You are far from home, human.
This ends tonight, my queen.
For hundreds of years, the alien beast's name had been a symbol of terror throughout the galaxy. Every planet knew the stories about it. They said the creature was stronger than machines, faster than ships, and powerful enough to destroy an entire army in minutes. Many soldiers had entered the battlefield to face it, but none had returned alive. To the aliens, it was no longer a living creature. It was a walking disaster that could never be stopped. The beast belonged to an ancient alien race called the Barkorians. They had created many powerful weapons, but even they feared their own creation. The creature was enormous, covered in dark, silvery, armor-like skin, and had glowing blue eyes that could see through the darkness. Its roar could shake the ground, and its claws could tear through the toughest metal. Every enemy who faced it believed death awaited them, but the truth about the beast remained hidden from all. The galaxy saw only its power, but no one knew its pain. No one knew why the creature attacked. No one knew why it always remained alone on forgotten worlds, far from civilization. Everyone called it a monster, but no one ever tried to understand it. Years later, a human exploration team arrived on a dangerous, abandoned planet in the farthest reaches of space. The mission was simple: find lost technology and gather information about unknown creatures. The team members were trained soldiers, but they had never seen a planet like this. The air was cold, the ground barren, and strange sounds came from the dark forests that surrounded them. Among the soldiers was Captain Ryan Cole, a human known for making impossible decisions. Unlike other warriors, Ryan didn't believe that everything unknown was an enemy. He believed that fear blinded people. Many soldiers laughed at his ideas, saying that kindness had no place in a dangerous galaxy. But Ryan had survived because he always looked beyond the obvious. As the team ventured deeper into the planet, they discovered signs of an epic battle. Shattered alien weapons littered the ground. Ancient ships lay buried beneath the rocks, and strange markings indicated that something extremely powerful had passed through the area. The soldiers grew uneasy, for they knew that only one creature could cause such destruction. Then suddenly, the ground began to tremble. A deep rumble echoed through the forest. The trees moved slowly, and a huge shadow appeared from the mist. The soldiers immediately raised their weapons. They knew the stories, they knew the legends. The creature they had feared for years was only steps away. The alien beast emerged from the darkness. It was larger than any creature they had ever seen. Its sharp claws scraped the ground, and its glowing eyes fixed on the humans. The soldiers prepared to attack, convinced they had no other choice. But Captain Ryan noticed something strange. The beast wasn't attacking them. It was wounded. One of its legs was badly injured, and its breathing was shallow. The terrifying monster that had destroyed armies stood there not as a killer, but as a wounded creature trying to survive. Ryan slowly lowered his weapon as everyone around him shouted that he was crazy. The other soldiers warned him that the beast could kill them all. They told him to attack before it became dangerous. But Ryan looked into the creature's eyes and saw something no one else saw. He saw fear, he saw pain, he saw a creature that had been fighting alone for far too long. The beast moved closer and opened its gigantic jaws. Everyone thought Ryan was going to die. The soldiers backed away, bracing themselves for the worst moment of their lives. But instead of attacking, the beast stopped in front of him. For the first time in history, the most dangerous creature in the galaxy did not attack a human being. With his head bowed, Ryan slowly reached out toward the gigantic beast. The entire team watched in astonishment, for no human had ever survived such a close encounter with the creature. The galaxy believed that the beast only understood violence, but Ryan was about to discover a secret that would forever change the future of humans and aliens. Because the beast that destroyed armies wasn't looking for a battle, it was looking for someone who could finally understand it. The entire human team froze as Captain Ryan Cole slowly approached the alien beast. No one could believe their eyes, for the creature was known as the galaxy's greatest killer. The soldiers kept their weapons ready, expecting the beast to suddenly attack and annihilate them. But Ryan saw something different in its eyes, something hidden behind years of anger and pain. The giant creature wasn't acting like a monster, but like a wounded survivor. Ryan carefully reached out to touch the beast's injured leg and noticed a strange metallic object embedded in its body. The object wasn't part of the creature. It was an ancient alien weapon designed to inflict endless pain. The beast had been suffering for many years at the hands of the very people who called it a monster. Ryan understood that the creature's attacks weren't because it wanted to destroy it. It was fighting because it had been wounded and hunted by others. The other soldiers couldn't accept what Ryan was doing and ordered him to back off immediately. They believed the beast was merely waiting for the opportune moment to kill everyone around it. But Ryan ignored his fear and slowly extracted the damaged weapon from the creature's body. The beast moved suddenly, and all the soldiers aimed their weapons at its head. However, the creature didn't attack Ryan because it knew he was helping it. A deathly silence enveloped the battlefield as the impossible unfolded before human eyes. The creature that had destroyed entire armies allowed a human to touch it without showing anger. The soldiers began to question everything they had learned about the beast. Perhaps the stories weren't entirely true, and perhaps the galaxy had misunderstood this creature. Perhaps the true enemy wasn't the beast, but the people who had caused its suffering. After removing the weapon, the beast slowly lowered its body toward Ryan. It emitted a deep sound that wasn't a roar, but something more akin to gratitude. Ryan realized that the creature was trying to communicate with him in its own way. He used his translator device, but the system failed because the beast's language was too ancient. Still, Ryan believed that words weren't always necessary to understand someone. Suddenly, a message arrived from the human command ship, ordering the team to capture the beast. Command deemed the creature too dangerous to remain at large. They wanted to retrieve it and study its potential as a weapon. Ryan looked at the beast and knew that this would only repeat the same mistakes of the past. For the first time, he decided to disobey an order to protect a life. But before Ryan could make a decision, the planet began to shake violently. A group of unknown alien hunters appeared from the sky with advanced weaponry. They were the same people who had implanted the painful device inside the beast earlier. They had returned because they wanted to reclaim their lost weapon, the creature itself. And now Ryan stood between them and the most powerful beast in the galaxy. The sky above the planet darkened as the alien hunter ships slowly advanced through the clouds. Their powerful weapons were driven into the ground, and their soldiers prepared to capture the legendary beast. The human team watched in awe because they knew these aliens were no ordinary enemies. They were the same group that had spread stories about the beast that destroyed armies. But now Ryan was beginning to understand that the truth was far more dangerous. The alien hunters landed near the battlefield and ordered Ryan to move away from the creature. Their leader claimed the beast was a dangerous weapon belonging to their empire. He said the creature had no feelings and existed only to fight its enemies. The human soldiers looked at Ryan, wanting to know if he believed these words, but Ryan stayed by the beast and refused to leave. The hunter's leader grew angry and warned Ryan that he was protecting a monster. He explained that the beast had defeated thousands of soldiers during an ancient war, but Ryan noticed something strange about the story because the hunter only spoke of battles. He never mentioned why the beast fought or who started those wars. Ryan realized the galaxy had only heard one side of the story. The beast suddenly positioned itself behind Ryan, shielding him from the enemy soldiers. Everyone was shocked that the creature had chosen to protect a human. The hunters couldn't understand why their most powerful weapon was aiding their enemy. Ryan observed the creature and realized it wasn't following orders or programming. For the first time in many years, it was making a decision of its own. The hunter forces attacked without warning and began firing powerful energy weapons. Ryan and his team quickly took cover as the beast remained in front of them. The creature unleashed a deafening roar that shook the entire battlefield. The enemy soldiers paused for a moment, remembering the ancient legends. They knew the beast was something that not even their most powerful weapons could defeat. But this time, the creature was different. This wasn't a fight motivated by anger or revenge. It was fighting because it wanted to protect someone who had shown it kindness. Ryan watched as the beast blocked attacks meant for the human soldiers. The very creature that had once inspired terror was now becoming their greatest shield. During the battle, Ryan uncovered hidden information within the hunter's communication system. The records revealed that the beast hadn't been created as a monster. It had been created as a guardian by an ancient alien civilization that vanished long ago. The hunters had captured it and repurposed it, turning it into a weapon of war. They had transformed a protector into something the galaxy would fear. Ryan shared the truth with his team, and the soldiers finally understood what had happened. The beast had never been the enemy they'd been told about. It was yet another victim of a ruthless empire that would use anything to gain power, but the hunters were unwilling to let their secret be revealed. They prepared their most powerful weapon to destroy both humans and the beast once and for all. Ryan watched the approaching enemy army and knew he had only one choice left. He had to fight alongside the creature everyone feared. And for the first time in history, humans and the legendary beast united against a common enemy. The battlefield erupted into a storm of fire and energy. As the alien hunters launched their final assault, their powerful machines surged across the land, mercilessly destroying everything in their path. The human soldiers knew they faced an enemy far stronger than any they had ever encountered, but for the first time, they were not alone in the face of danger. Standing beside them was the legendary beast that had once sent entire armies fleeing in terror. Captain Ryan moved across the battlefield, issuing orders to his team as he watched the creature fight. He realized that the beast did not attack randomly, as the old tales claimed. Every move it made was deliberate, protecting the humans rather than trying to destroy the enemy. The creature used its massive body to block deadly attacks and save wounded soldiers. The humans gradually realized that they were fighting alongside a true protector. The hunter's leader was enraged to see the beast defending the humans. He believed the creature was nothing more than a tool, meant to obey its master's commands. He couldn't comprehend how a human had managed to forge a connection with something so powerful. He ordered his soldiers to concentrate all their weapons on Ryan and the beast. His objective was simple: sever the link before it became a greater threat. Ryan knew they couldn't win with brute force alone, because the enemy possessed superior technology. He studied the battlefield, searching for a weakness in the hunter's machines. During the battle, he discovered that all enemy weapons were connected to a central system. If that system were destroyed, the entire army would lose its power. But to reach that system, they had to penetrate enemy territory. The beast sensed Ryan's plan and approached him. It gazed into his glowing eyes and somehow understood what he meant. The creature wanted to accompany him, despite knowing the mission was perilous. For the first time, a human and an alien creature trusted each other completely. They were no longer strangers from different worlds, they were partners. Together, Ryan and the beast advanced toward the enemy command center. The hunters tried everything to stop them, but the creature pressed on fearlessly. The soldiers, who had once called it a monster, now regarded it with respect. They saw courage, loyalty, and intelligence in the creature they had once hated. The old tales of destruction were slowly being replaced by a new truth. Inside the command center, Ryan found the records of the ancient civilization that created the beast. The files revealed that the creature had protected planets for thousands of years. It had saved billions of lives before the hunters managed to turn people against it. The beast wasn't born to destroy armies. It was born to defend the innocent from those who craved power. But before Ryan could finish downloading the information, the hunter's leader appeared. He activated a secret weapon specifically designed to control the beast's mind. The creature suddenly stopped moving and collapsed to the ground, writhing in pain. Ryan watched angrily as the enemy tried to take control of his new friend. He knew he only had moments to save the creature before it was too late. Ryan stepped forward and faced the hunter's leader alone. The enemy laughed because he believed that a single human could never defeat an entire empire, but he didn't understand one important thing about humans. Humans were never strongest because they fought alone. They became unstoppable when they protected someone they loved. Ryan stood before the hunter's leader while the controlled beast struggled behind him. Enemy soldiers surrounded him on all sides, their weapons ready to fire. They believed the human had made the biggest mistake of his life by protecting the creature. But Ryan wasn't afraid because he knew the beast wasn't a weapon. It was a living being that had finally found someone who believed in it. The hunter's leader laughed and told Ryan that kindness was a weakness. He said the galaxy survived because powerful creatures were controlled and used for warfare. Ryan looked at him and realized that was why so many worlds suffered. The hunters didn't fear the beast because it was dangerous. They feared it because it could become uncontrollable. Ryan quickly searched the command center and found the control device connected to the beast. The machine sent painful signals to the creature's mind, forcing it to obey. Ryan knew destroying the device would be difficult because it was protected by advanced technology, but he also knew leaving his friend trapped wasn't an option. He moved forward as enemy soldiers tried to stop him. The hunters attacked Ryan, but human soldiers arrived to help him. They had changed after discovering the truth about the legendary beast. The same soldiers who had once wanted to kill the creature now fought to protect it. They understood that fear had controlled them for many years. Now they were willing to fight for something they believed was right. As the battle raged on, Ryan reached the control system and began severing the connection. The machine became unstable and sent powerful energy waves hurtling toward the beast. The creature screamed in pain, shaking the entire command center with its power. Everyone feared it would lose control and attack everything around it, but Ryan spoke its name, reminding it that it was no longer alone. The beast slowly opened its glowing eyes and gazed at Ryan. For a moment, the entire battlefield fell silent as they connected wordlessly. The creature remembered all the years of pain, loneliness, and hatred inflicted upon it by others, but it also remembered the first human who had shown it kindness. That memory gave it the strength to fight back against the control system. With a deafening roar, the beast shattered the machine that controlled its mind. The energy blast destroyed the enemy equipment and forced the hunters back. The creature stood again, but this time it was completely free. It looked different because the rage it had carried within was gone. The most feared creature in the galaxy had finally returned to do what it was destined to do. The leader of the hunters tried to escape, but Ryan stopped him before he reached his ship. Ryan showed him the ancient records that proved the truth about the beast. The evidence revealed how the hunters had lied to the entire galaxy for centuries. Their empire was built on fear, control, and fabricated stories. Now everyone would finally know what really happened. The battle was over, but Ryan knew the hardest part was yet to come. The galaxy wouldn't easily accept that its greatest enemy was actually a protector. Many planets would still fear the creature because old beliefs were hard to change. But Ryan believed that the truth could be stronger than fear. He knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter. As the human team prepared to leave the planet, the beast silently followed Ryan. The creature that had once been alone now had someone by its side. And for the first time in thousands of years, the legendary beast was no longer a monster. He had a friend, a purpose, and a reason to protect the galaxy once more. After the battle on the forgotten planet, news spread rapidly throughout the galaxy. Everyone heard that a human soldier had stood beside the creature they had feared for centuries. Many aliens refused to believe the story because it seemed impossible. They believed no human could survive near the legendary beast, but the footage recorded on the battlefield showed the truth to everyone. The galaxy watched as the beast protected the human soldiers instead of attacking them. They saw it save lives and fight off the hunters who controlled it. Gradually, the old tales of destruction began to transform into stories of hope. People began to question what they had been told for so many years. They wondered if the real monster had never been the beast. Captain Ryan and his team returned to human space with the creature in tow. Their arrival sparked fear because many leaders believed the beast was still dangerous. They ordered Ryan to hand the creature over for further investigation, but Ryan refused because he knew what would happen if he were captured again. He had already seen how others used power without regard for life. The human leaders questioned Ryan about why he trusted such a powerful creature. They asked how he could be sure the beast would never turn against them. Ryan explained that the beast had many opportunities to attack humans, but never did. Instead, it protected them when everyone else wanted to destroy it. He told them that facts were more important than old rumors. While the leaders argued, the beast remained calm beside Ryan. It didn't threaten anyone or show anger toward those who feared it. This surprised many scientists and soldiers who were observing the creature. They had expected a savage monster, but instead, they saw intelligence and patience. The beast was proving that it was more than just brute force. As the days passed, more information about the hunters came to light. Their empire had secretly controlled many planets through fear and fabricated stories. They had used the beast as a symbol to frighten their enemies by making everyone believe the creature was evil. They concealed their own crimes. Now their lies were finally beginning to unravel. Ryan and the beast became famous throughout the galaxy. Many considered Ryan the first human capable of seeing beyond fear and hatred. Others considered the beast a guardian who had returned after thousands of years. But Ryan knew the truth was simpler than any title. He had only helped someone who needed help. However, not everyone accepted the change. Some powerful aliens still wanted to destroy the beast because they feared its strength. They believed that something so powerful could never be trusted. A secret group began planning a final attack against Ryan and the creature. They wanted to erase the truth before the galaxy fully accepted it. Ryan discovered the danger when a coded message arrived on his ship. The message warned him that enemies were coming for the beast. He looked at his old friend and understood what was happening. The battle wasn't over because protecting someone is never easy, but this time the beast wasn't alone. Together, the human and the legendary creature prepared for their next challenge. The galaxy had finally seen the truth, but peace was still a long way off. Ryan knew that one last battle would decide their future if they survived. Humans and aliens could begin a new era together. If they failed, fear would rule the galaxy forever. The final battle began when the secret group launched its attack on the human colony. Their ships streaked across the skies with powerful weapons designed to destroy the legendary beast. They believed that if they killed the creature, the galaxy would once again feel fear. But they didn't realize that everything had changed. After Ryan's actions, the beast was no longer seen as a monster by everyone. Human soldiers and alien allies joined forces to defend their home. For the first time in history, different species fought on the same side. They didn't fight on orders or out of fear. They fought because they believed in protecting someone who had been misunderstood. The beast watched as the galaxy finally rallied to its side. Enemy forces attacked with everything they had. Their weapons were more powerful than any technology Ryan's team had ever faced, but the humans and their allies worked together using strategy and trust. Ryan led the battle while the beast protected the weaker forces. Every move they made demonstrated the power of cooperation between different worlds. During the battle, the enemy leader arrived on the battlefield and confronted Ryan again. He told Ryan that the galaxy would always fear something as powerful as the beast. Ryan looked at him and said that fear is created when people refuse to understand. He explained that true strength doesn't lie in controlling others. True strength lies in choosing to protect them. The enemy leader tried to activate a hidden weapon designed to destroy the beast. The weapon released a powerful energy wave that engulfed the entire battlefield. Everyone thought the creature had finally met its end, but the beast advanced and shielded everyone from the deadly attack. He used his own strength to save the people who had once feared him. The attack severely wounded the beast, which collapsed to the ground. Ryan rushed there without a thought for his own safety. He remembered the first day they met on the lonely planet. He remembered how a creature feared by billions only wished someone would understand. Ryan refused to abandon his friend Pyrrha. Ryan, standing beside the wounded beast, moved many soldiers. They realized that the creature had done more for them than their leaders. They joined forces and defeated the enemy forces once and for all. The secret group that had sown terror throughout the galaxy finally lost its power. The era of lies and control came to an end. After the battle, the galaxy entered a new era of peace. The beast became known as the guardian of the stars instead of a destroyer. The planets that had once feared him now respected and honored him. Children learned a different story about the creature in their history books. They learned that kindness could change even the hardest hearts. Captain Ryan never called himself a hero. He always said he had simply made a choice. He chose to see a living being rather than a dangerous monster. That choice changed the relationship between humans and extraterrestrials forever. It proved that understanding could be stronger than fear. Years later, the legend of Ryan and the Beast continued to spread throughout the galaxy. People remembered the human who stood up to an entire universe of hatred. They remembered the creature that went from being a feared weapon to a trusted protector. His story became a reminder that no one should be judged solely by fear, because sometimes the greatest heroes are those whom everyone misunderstands first.